All right, and we're live. This is what I'm talking about. Hello, everybody. Y'all know we're gonna give it up again today because we ain't got no choice. Oh, my back itching. Get that little itch. Let me come on over here. Copy the link. So I can share with everybody. There we go. Let's start the sharing thing. Okay. Oh, before I even do that, I gotta set this thing up. I didn't do my setup yet. But that's fine. That'll be quick. Oh, I forgot something. My co-host was running some technical difficulty. Was straightening that out, so I'm running a little behind. Give me 1 second, and because we got a lot to talk. Trump is going to keep us busy. When I started this, it wasn't even supposed to be about politics, but then Trump got in office, right? And here we are, and things keep getting crazier and crazier. Like your boy Trump is wild. I don't know what I'm looking at. All right, what I'm doing now is I'm just gonna come here, go to my YouTube. I forgot to put the description. I forgot to put the description in. Poke the bear, we punch back. I come to YouTube. It's crazy. You created the monster. The Epstein files complete. Oh my God, the Epstein files. Oh, is anybody seeing what's happening with these Epstein files? I don't know if y'all are paying attention, but Ghislaine Maxwell's entire um I don't know what to call it. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm off screen. I'm back. Got to do some stuff. Not exactly set up right. It's cool. Now I am. Ghislaine Maxwell's talking points were returned. I'm ecstatic to say nothing changed. As we predicted. If you didn't predict that, if you wasn't listening to the show, if you're new to the show and don't know, I am not psychic. I do predict the future. But it's using deductive reasoning, a little bit of common sense, and all that. There's no way, like, yo, the things that are happening. This is the worst cover up in history, bar none, without question. You cannot create a worse cover up than this. If I didn't, if I listen, Trump has lost it. How his team is allowing him to create such terrible cover ups is amazing to me. There's no reason for anybody to have cover-ups this bad. It's not possible. Like, y'all are purposely sabotaging him. I'm convinced. You cannot possibly have accidentally covered up things this badly. So I'm pretty sure y'all gonna want to know what I mean by that, right? So let's get into this. Trump. All right. So Trump was friends with this dude, Epstein, right? Jeffrey Epstein. We know that Jeffrey Epstein is the most horrific monster in the history of the planet. I mean, Hannibal Lecter is somebody he gives reverence to. So I didn't put a title on this. Give me 1 second. Let me come up with a title right quick. There we go. All right. So Hannibal Lecter's a fictional creature. Called him the late great, like he was alive. See, little things like that show Trump's cognitive decline. The late great fictional character who ate people. Period. He ate people. He was created off of a real life character. One of the most despicable serial killers in the history of this country ever in life. Who I was about to say his name, but I'm not even going to say his name. I'm not going to give him the grace. He doesn't deserve it. But as being the most despicable serial killer of all times, he used to keep people in his freezer after he cut them up. He's a monster. He killed 17 people. He was a monster. On the other hand, Trump's bestie, Epstein, he didn't kill anybody, but he raped. Can't say that. He R-worded. Excuse me. Sorry, YouTube. Please don't get me. But over 1,000 children. Trump's best friend. Then later on, Trump comes back. He's like, nah, that wasn't my man like that. Yeah, he said he was my best friend. Yeah, we used to fly together everywhere all the time. Yeah, he used to come to my hotel and steal my little girls. I mean, that's why I stopped talking to him, because he's stealing my little girls. You were friends with him for years afterwards. No, shh, don't tell nobody. Oh, wait, the evidence is everywhere. I'm still sending them birthday cards. Yes, my wife, I met through him. Yes, my wife and his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, was best friends. Ghislaine Maxwell wound up sentenced in prison for helping Epstein do all of these horrific things. Trump's peoples. Trump's going around like, yo, nah, but I wasn't really involved like that. Like, we wasn't really friends. So here comes the cover up. He tells everybody for centuries, I'm sorry, years, centuries, he's 90 years old, he's almost century. So 89, whatever. He tells people since 2019, when he was president of the United States and Epstein was locked up, along with his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, for allegedly, oh wait, she was convicted, so it's not alleged, assaulting with his private area over 1,000 little girls. Ghislaine accompanied him, was touching them in provocative areas and teaching them how to give fellatio, you know, kind of like Trump did on the microphone. She taught little girls how to do that for Jeffrey Epstein. This was all proven in 2019 in a court case where she was sentenced to 20 years. 2025, she served 6 of those years so far. Here's where it starts to get crazy, because it does get crazy. Like, that's crazy enough. That right there, that's an episode, and that's what everybody was talking about for so long. That's why Jeffrey Epstein was popular, in case she was under a rock and didn't know. So now chill out from underneath the rock. What happened from there? Began the worst cover-up in the history of cover-ups. In the history, there's never been I'm a writer. If I wrote a cover-up this badly, you wouldn't read it, you wouldn't watch it on your screen. It's terrible. Here's the cover-up. It's a terrible, terrible cover-up. So Donald Trump was convicted of 34 felonies. In case you didn't know, he's a felon. Convicted 34 felonies. If you've committed one felony, you go away for at least 7 years. Well, a felony means a year or more. So any of these felonies, you'd be away for 5 years or more. Any of the 34 counts that he was convicted of right before he became president of the United States. So this is the stuff he got away with. Along with saying I can kiss I can kiss girls on the mouth. They won't say nothing because I got money. I can grab them by the genitals and they won't say nothing because I got money. All this SA he was doing, along with losing in court to SAing, touching, doing something to women, and having to lose copious amounts of money because of it. These are the things he said, did, and got convicted of. These are on the record. These are non-disputable. This is not allegedly. These are things he did. So now Ghislaine Maxwell's there. Now he doesn't want that to come out. If he could say that he grabs women by the private area, and that's fine, he gets elected afterwards, even if they didn't ask for it. What could he possibly be trying to hide? Like, if I was like, y'all just grab women by the, you would look at me like I was crazy, insane, any monster. This is what he got away with and got elected. So what is it that he did that he's trying to hide that's so much worse? There's one person on all of Earth that can actually accurately answer that. You like that? It's called a oh my God, alliteration. When you make words sound together at the beginning rather than at the end. At the end is a rhyme. At the beginning of the word, some alliteration. So I digress. I couldn't remember the word alliteration. So he did all of this. He gets elected. Ghislaine Maxwell still sitting in prison 6 years later. The lawyer that defended him when he got his 34 counts was an attorney by the name of Todd Blanche. Right now, Todd Blanche serves as number 2 at the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice is who prosecutes criminals for the United States. If you see somebody get a felony and they got to go before the federal courts, they're being prosecuted by the Department of Justice. This man's number 2 at the Department of Justice. He's the second most powerful lawyer in the land. Number 2 at the Department of Justice, Todd Blanche, who was once Trump's criminal attorney, failed criminal attorney. And you might be like, what do you mean failed? If I'm before the court, listen, I just went in front of a judge Friday, civil suit. It was me against 2 lawyers. Now, God was with me. I prayed on this one because me against 2 lawyers. I won. It's a fact. God was good to me. I won. I beat one lawyer. The other lawyer got what he wanted, but we broke even. The one that lost to me, he lost. I would say he's not a good lawyer. Yeah, you're not a good lawyer, buddy. The other lawyer, it was an interesting subject. I ain't lose, though. I didn't lose. Donald Trump's lawyer, Todd Blanche, got Donald Trump 34 counts. I'd say he lost. Hands down, you're a loser, buddy. So then it's like, all right, so how did he end up the second most powerful lawyer in the land? Why would you put somebody who lost and make him the second most, like, yo, you're not going to win very many cases. He's a loser. Second most powerful lawyer in the land, right? All right, so now we're caught up to who Todd Blanche is. Todd Blanche is sent to talk to Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving these 6 years, right? Now, when we go in, when he sends him, like, we're like, why you? So now, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I'm not an attorney. I just whoop on him. Nah, I feel good, boy. That was a tough one. So I lost my train of thought. That was a tough fight. So he sends this attorney in to speak to this woman. Now, we all know, now all the attorneys are saying the same thing I'm saying. Anybody with a degree of, any kind of common sense is looking at this like, well, why didn't you send in the person that actually tried the case? A woman by the name of Maureen Comey, daughter of James Comey, in case you didn't know. And James Comey was the head of the DOJ under the Trump administration, but that's not him. That was William Barr. No, William Barr tried to get. James Comey and Trump have a history. Big one. They don't get along. I think he tried to get him locked up or something like that. Tried to get Comey locked up or something like that. So he fired Maureen Comey As soon as all of this happened, Marine Comey came around, you're fired. So it was like, all right, welcome Dion Powell. And then after that occurred, after the firing, he sends in Todd Blanche. Todd Blanche, the loser, Todd Blanche, goes in and says, tell me everything you know. Here's where it comes the worst cover-up in history. What do you think is about to happen? Whatever you thought is what happened. Oh, Trump is innocent. I don't know anybody. Epstein was innocent. I'm innocent. Everybody's innocent. Wait, you're convicted and doing 20 years. 2 days later, she's taken out of a maximum security prison, and she's put in the lightest prison in the country, the one that anybody that's in prison wants to go to. A few days after that, Trump places troops in Washington. And everybody's like, oh my God, there's troops in Washington. You can't do this. Posse Comitatus, which we'll get into this episode, but that's not for right now. So what happens when he puts these troops in Washington? The next day, Ghislaine Maxwell gets permission to have work release. What does that mean? What is that in English? She can step out of jail for 12 hours a day. Now, she's in a prison she don't belong in. It's literally against the rules of the prison to have somebody like that there. They carved out a special exception for her, according to the way they announced it on the Midas Touch Network. Shout out to Michael Polpak, where they explain this is insane. That was wrong. There's no way in the world she's supposed to be in this prison. Like, you wildin'. You put her in a prison with a bunch of girls. What's going to happen? 12-hour work release? Wait a minute. She got 20 years hard prime for teaching 12-year-olds how to get fellatio. She should be getting beat up every day. Worse. I said it. But you can't be in prison with her and say it. Because somebody in prison was like, yo, she don't belong here with us. And they took the woman that said that out of the prison she was in and put her into a maximum security prison. But the convicted felon rapist of children is still in a prison where she can get work release. It's astounding. I've never seen anything like it. And all within a week of her saying Trump didn't do anything, they released the files, Trump is innocent, I'm innocent, Epstein, oh, he just liked to listen to little girls make music. So y'all flew these little girls to the Virgin Islands so he can listen to them make music or talk about music with them. That's literally what you said? That's the cover up? Wow. Yeah, like you really said, like, it's almost like they're trying to set Trump up because they know he's going to die or something. Because there's no way they would allow a cover up that bad to escape otherwise, in my opinion. Anyway, I digress. Hey, it's
brother. It's like my overlay doesn't work for me. I think you have to invite me to your overlay. Send it to me again because I already have it set up. Yes, you have to accept yours. Boom. Bottom. Allow. Bottom. Yeah, there you go. See? I can't do it by myself. And we're ready.
Okay.
Just gotta do this.
Cool. Give me 1 second. I think I should send this out to a couple of people. Let me. Did I took the. Oh, let me see. Oh, we got some listeners in. All right. We got some people chiming in. Yay. Welcome, everybody. Shirley, thank you. Robert, always good to see you. Chris, what's up? What's up? Michael. All right, let me get some of these chats. First of all, welcome to the think tank. We use critical thinking, deductive reasoning, just a pinch of common sense to draw unbiased logical conclusions. I'm back again for our Sunday night, 9 p.m. every Sunday. talk, debate with the Honorable Dion Powell. I'm gonna let Dion introduce himself, then I'm gonna hit these chats, and then we're gonna get into these topics. Dion?
Yes, I'm the 78th Assembly District Leader, Dion Powell, here in the Bronx, New York. I'm a Trump apologist, and I'm going to give you the right side, pun intended, point of view that you need to hear. I'm a consultant, and I'm community leader here in New York City, political operative, if you will. Back to you, Skip.
Love it. I'm here to show y'all what happens when the right goes left. Redistricting, so first surety. Redistricting has been weaponized for decades. Why is it still legal to manipulate democracy like this? It should not be. Matter of fact, we did a episode earlier this week, a hot take that's going to be released in the next couple of days, where we explained that Democrats have done some redistricting. As a matter of fact, 11% of Democrats have redistricted. 11%, like that's a tenth of the people. A tenth of Democrats have redistricted. It's crazy. And something like 45% of Republicans have redistricted. Like half of the Republicans redistrict. It's not a democracy. Robert Michael, funny how they always blame Putin but ignore the broken system at home. Woo! Dion's gonna love you. Dion's gonna love you.
Well, thing is, I was told by our legal notes on the side that I can't put a positive spin to that Mother Russia, so I'll just leave it at that.
Christopher, democracy can be swayed by maps. Is it really democracy? No.
You have to understand that number one, this isn't a democracy. The word democracy is not in our contract called the Constitution with this country. This is a republic based on a document called the United States Constitution. That's it. That's like our union manual. Remember that? Or your student handbook? So take a look at those documents. So with redistricting and reapportionment, that goes to representational government. So based on the population, kind of makes sense. And the most powerful tool the man has is the ability to create and change the rules. So whoever has the majority kind of wins. But yes, that's what it's about. So democracy, always suspend your disbelief about that, okay? When you talk about the United States and the republic for which it stands. Remember that? We should say it every morning. Think about it.
He's right.
Ooh.
It's not a democracy, it's a republic. So your vote doesn't count, especially when it comes to the president.
Well, that's the thing. Your vote does count so far in swing states, but in the totality of things, if people were more objective in all the states, it could count a little bit greater. But yes, if your state is a blue state like New York, it's going to vote for Democrat president, whoever the hell it is, no matter what. But if you're in the Pennsylvania, where you guys are more in the center, like a pendulum, you swing wherever the issues go, or Michigan as well.
Well, since you're elected official, you're the electoral college delegate does not have to follow the vote of the population in many states. Your vote may not necessarily count at all. But then again, I'm not the expert. I'm here for entertainment and educational purposes only. Pay attention to the educational part. But if Republicans are successful in drawing the lines the way they want to draw them, we are not going to have the elections don't make a difference anymore. This really is a dangerous time. And John, I'm gonna get to you in a moment. Michael, I want to say hello. What's up? Thank you for coming. Do you think Americans care more about Putin or about the political drawing lines in secret? Whoa! They're not in secret. They're out in the open. Donald Trump called and said, hey, Governor Abbott.
Oh, here we go again.
5 seats. Give me 5 seats. And Governor Abbott, who fought to keep his lines redistributed the way they were, that advantaged the Republicans and cut out as many blacks as they could in the great second largest state of Texas, which happens to have more black people than any other state in the union in the whole country, while all that was going on. And he fought because the Democrats are like, yo, you're cheating. He's like, no, I'm not cheating. You're cheating. And they fought and fought and fought. And he fought to keep these lines. And then Donald Trump calls him, give me 5 seats. Now, my Donald Trump sounds like more like Michael Jackson. now, Now he's like, no, these seats are not fair. They're tilted toward Democrats. They're even locking Democrats up in order to try and force them to vote. It's insane. They're locking Democratic politicians up.
Listen,
They got to sign in
you
order to
have
either be escorted by police or they get locked up.
listen, you have to understand something.
It's not illegal.
Look at Congress. Do you know the minority and majority whip? Why are they called the whip? Because they have to make sure everybody's in that damn room to vote. So the sergeant at arms, again, Robert's Rules of Order. What the sergeant at arms has to do? Look at these terminologies. Learn how it works. That way you're not so, oh my God, they left the black woman in the room to make her vote. Because, as you can see, the Democrats have their tricks up their sleeves too.
So we're just going to ignore the fact that if you lock somebody up without a crime, that is kidnapping. We're just going to ignore that part, right?
Of course, because again, you have to look at what people's functions and roles are in the government. So if you're in a political party and you're a whip or somebody that has to coalesce and caucus, your job, no matter if you have to handcuff a person to a freaking radiator, is keep these people in this room to have quorum to vote. Now, was it right or wrong or morally sound? Who knows? But that's all in the game. And if you don't like it, you could just, you know what? If I want to hurt quorum, I'll resign right now. They want all of us Democrats will resign right now. Maybe they'll change the quorum numbers. Who knows? But hey, Texas is not no stranger to this.
Yes, there's never been a time, and quorum happened. It's not the first time these people have, broken quorum. This is the first time something is illegal as arresting somebody who's committed no crime has happened. You can't arrest somebody who's committed no crime, not legally, not until now, not in the United States.
Well, I don't know what the Texas Constitution says or whatever
I
document.
do. I'm telling you. Well,
The
it's
violation.
the same in educational purposes only, but it's against the rules. It's against the law. That's why everybody's up in arms about it. You can't just locking somebody. If you cannot detain someone unless you're an officer of the law, and then you have to have reasonable suspicion. Now, I've been trained in that multiple times. To do so, detaining somebody without reasonable suspicion, and you're not, first of all, if you're not an officer, right? You can't just detain somebody even with reasonable suspicion. Reasonable suspicion is only if you're an officer. If you're a civilian, you had to witness a crime be conducted right in front of your face. You can't just have a suspicion. They could not legally do what they did. I mean, they did. And it's like, yo, we the government, what you gonna say about it? And that's what they did. That's why they had the police chase them all around the country. And when they went to other states, what happened? It was like, we're not following this order. You sound crazy. Because it was illegal. Texas is making up their own laws. They're like, yo.
Then why don't you ask the question of what was the Democrat strategy of leaving in the first place? Why did they do that?
Oh, they explained that. You must not have heard.
Yeah, so explain to me. Why didn't they want to do their job and go to work?
That sounds silly. Stop. I mean, quorum is as old as Abraham Lincoln, who himself broke quorum, literally jumping out of a window to do so. Breaking quorum has been in this country forever and is not against the rules. So, stop. You sound silly. Breaking quorum that's not, you act like no one's, there's never been anybody arrested for breaking quorum. It is a strategy used by both parties.
Oh, now both parties do it. Okay.
What was Abraham Lincoln?
Well, if the Republicans did it, it would be okay. Okay.
I'm sure it would be if the Republicans did it. That's how MAGA thinks. So, what else is going on in the chat? We didn't even get to this yet. If democracy can be swayed by maps, is it really democracy? We said no, but you explained that. Do you think Americans care more about Putin or about the political drawing lines in secret? We explained that. And then there's, why is it that democracy always seems at risk during election season? Woo!
Exactly. It's that time we're going to scare you guys to vote blue no matter who. You scared yet?
I think that what John Charles was saying is that no matter which party is in charge, the other party claims it. but the numbers favor the Democrats when half the Republicans are redistricting. That's a big number, half. Half the Republicans are going out their way to make sure that Democrats can't win. Half. I'm sorry, I'm exaggerating. It's not half. It's only 45%.
But
I
then
say
again, Texas is a red state anyway. So what's the big deal? I mean, in the grand scheme of things for the presidential election, they're going to vote Republican anyway.
what's the big deal? The House only has 3 seats right now. Trump asked for 5 seats. So the big deal is that the reason they have 3 seats is because North Carolina redistricted last election. Otherwise, you wouldn't have them 3 seats. So now that North Carolina did it, Texas wants to do it. You want to know what the big deal is? The big deal is Republicans are cheating and have been cheating.
They're cheating when they're just changing the rules. They're not doing anything magical. They came together.
How is it not cheating?
You
have to do magic to cheat.
How are they cheating? It's called the Democrats. They violated the rules by breaking quorum. But that's fine. That's in the game.
That's not against the rules.
Well, it's not against the rules for the Republicans to vote in a majority in the Texas legislature to redraw the lines. And that's all in the game. There's no cheating going on.
Okay, so the state with the most black people are not going to have any black representation. Got it.
That's not true. The votes haven't come down yet. The election hasn't been held yet.
That's what the maps are. That's how the maps are drawn.
That doesn't
That's literally what Trump told them to do.
That means that the black people running for office or re-election have to make their case to the voters. So the new voters in their districts, etc. That's it. They didn't say black people can't run for office.
Or they actually saying black people can't vote because they're actually suing. They're literally suing to take the Voters' Rights Act that protects black people being able to vote. They're literally suing to strike that. And
that's not just for black people, but okay.
It's for minorities and people that speak English as a second language, right?
Long story short,
I have to pull it up and show it to you.
The voting rights. This has more to do with the candidates than the voters. The voters still have access to vote regardless who's on the ballot. It's up to the candidates. Now, they scare people because they're black, and the Voting Rights Act means black, just like affirmative action means black, DEI means black, until the other people take full advantage of it, and the black people fall last. That's my point.
I understand. That is a valid point. Maybe I'm exaggerating. It's a possibility I'm exaggerating. But when something like that comes up, I think that maybe we should read. And let's read this. Section 2. Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act of 1965 prohibits voting practices or procedures that discriminate on the basis of race, color, or membership in one of the language minority groups. So, Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act prohibits voting practices or procedures that discriminate on the basis of color. So, wait, what does that mean in English? It means I'm not saying that they're trying to take away the voting rights of blacks. They're trying to take away the voting rights of blacks. In black and white right in front of you. Unarguable. That's what it is. They're trying to take away the voters' rights of blacks. It's a pretty disconcerting situation. I'm concerned. Anybody who knows how to read should be concerned. Because they're not even trying to hide it. Texas is suing to take away the voting rights of black people. That's concerning. All right. Anyway, we didn't even get into this yet. Whoa, we got the room is live tonight. Thank you guys for coming in. Let us talk about these situations. So, the Trump-Putin summit, a new world order. What a way to start off. So Trump and Putin meets up, right? Trump has a red carpet rolled out for him. Putin can't even step in half the countries in the world. He's a war criminal. He steps in them countries, he would get arrested.
What war crime did he commit?
You're not allowed to attack civilians. That's a war crime.
What civilians did he attack?
the ones in Ukraine over and over and over and over
So
and over and over again.
So Donald Trump, so who's the war criminal? Is it Putin or is it Trump?
Putin.
Okay. All right. You wouldn't label that. That's fine. Okay.
I'm not labeling him that.
Okay.
The entire world labeled him that. Oh my God, are you serious?
I was confused. I thought you meant Trump was the war criminal. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, nah. Well, no, he hasn't done any war crimes yet. No, Putin has murdered civilians for over 30 years. He's a war criminal. This one in Ukraine has them looking for him. The Trump-Putin summit. All right, this is the most highly covered story. People are talking about this. Why are they talking about Putin and Trump? A war criminal comes to America and has a red carpet rolled out for him. He pulls Trump into the car. He's like, yo, come have a conversation with us. They go and sit down and talk in the car. What car? This car is named The Beast. What is The Beast? The Beast, I'm sorry?
Not the Beast from the X-Men, but okay.
Sounds like a Transformer or something, right? The Beast is the name of the vehicle that the United States president travels in. It's a limo. Air Force One is his airplane. The Beast is his limo. Pulls him in the Beast. They have a conversation with no cameras, nothing. They come out. Putin's like, good. Trump now wants to stop mail-in ballots because, and I quote Trump, Putin said that mail-in ballots is how the elections were stolen.
I agree.
You agree that Putin is right?
Yes, I've seen it happen here locally in New York. In addition, you have to ask yourself a question. In 2020, when mail-in ballots were the rave because of the Dr. Fauci allergy COVID shutdown, how is it that you have up to 7 million people vote in excess in that election? That fast forward to 2024, nearly 7 million people that voted before miraculously stayed home. That makes no sense. How are there more votes in that election than for Barack Obama when he first came to town? So this mail-in ballot stuff I've seen personally here in New York with dead people voting and polling rolls need to be purged. It's not a good thing. So yes, I agree.
So you don't think that some of that might be that it's easier for people to vote if they don't have to go to the polls and they can just send it in the mail, like Donald Trump did, like they do in Russia? Like they do in Russia, like Donald Trump did. Donald Trump wants to stop mail-in voting, but he was a mail-in voter.
Well, so
because Putin said so. Then again, I'm sorry, go ahead.
People say the same thing about all the Latinos that work for ICE. Did you know most of the people at the border that work for ICE and immigration are mostly Latinos? Some argue they're shutting the door behind themselves because they're immigrants themselves. Isn't that ironic how people could change their mind? Like Donald Trump?
Maybe. I don't know. You got to show me them statistics in proof and not just utter rhetoric as MAGA is likely to do. If you have numbers to show that, I'd be happy to look at them. I don't believe it. Now, where did you get your numbers?
From the absentee ballots?
No, that most of the guards at the border were Latino.
Oh, yeah. Now you need me to share my screen. Okay, fill in for some time. Okay, there we go. Just like most of the NYPD officers are Dominican. Did you know that?
That doesn't sound right.
Yes, most of them are Dominican. It's ironic, huh? Let's see.
It's probably not true. You got to show me those numbers.
Okay, here we go. Let's see what I can whip out today. All right. Let's see.
And while you're doing that, what else is there to discuss?
Okay, here we go. Ah, yes, good old Microsoft Bing. Ah, I love this platform. This search engine regress. Here we go. You put in Microsoft Bing, ICE, mostly Latino workers. 1 in 5 ICE arrests are Latinos. Fine. Latinos make up more than, this is June 13th. The day
I don't see it on your screen. Hold up. Let me see something. I need to make sure it's there. I'm maximize. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Here it goes. Latinos make up more than 50% of Border Patrol agents. Isn't that interesting? You have to go to Microsoft to find this information. And this is not a major.
Who printed that?
This is not a major media outlet. Of course, they won't tell you this information because this breaks the narrative, as they say. Let it load a little bit. Latinos make up more than 50% of Border Patrol agents and 24% of ICE agents. Isn't that interesting? Let's see. It's not self-hatred like they want you to believe. All right. All right. So it's all here, my friend. And it's nice, beautiful article. I just got to see where their primary source is if I can find it. Oh, yeah, look, they just talk about the salaries of 2019. Okay. Well, there you go, my friend. Now it's your turn. You don't like that
Wow,
statistic?
I don't, that's interesting. That might have been, I could see that before they were weaponized the way they are now. But the way they're weaponized now, I can't see. Well, it does still say population was 1922. The percentage of Latino employees with the U.S. Immigration Council was higher, with estimates in 2020 placing it nearly at 30%. That's 2020. But we don't know what it is with all of the new hires and with what's going on now. So those statistics from previous administrations, when ICE wasn't weaponized the way it is now, where they're running around with masks on, jumping out of unmarked cars, putting guns to 15-year-old kids' heads, is a little different. But I guess facts don't matter all the time.
The facts that you don't want to hear, like the inconvenient truth that most of the ICE agents
In 2020, what about now? That doesn't say when is that article?
that was June 13th. I just showed it to you.
June 13th this year?
Yes, let's see.
Where did they get the numbers from now? Because that's a little difficult to believe.
Exactly. It's hard to feel, tough pill to swallow, right?
I mean, you're MAGA.
This comes from a college professor who wrote it in USA Today. Here we go. This insight is based on the research of David Cortez, an assistant professor of political science at the University of Notre Dame, and published in an opinion article in USA Today. Now, if we scroll up, it says it here by Ronaldo Mina, June 13th, 2025. My friend, boy, they don't want you to know these things in the major media outlets. Do you want to ask your precious AI what they think?
It didn't give it. It doesn't have an updated version. It only tells us about 2020. It doesn't have anything about now, which is, I would like to know when he achieved it, when he accrued his data.
He's a professor. He must be
What
right.
does that mean?
He's a he.
He didn't. He has to have a date that he accrued his knowledge. He can't just be like, any professor worth anything is going to be able to put numbers and dates and timelines. Without a timeline, what are we talking?
Now
You
you
be
want to
talking about
get to
something
the
from
nitty gritty.
1942.
Now you want to get
Sorry?
to the nitty gritty. Access peer review. I don't know.
Oh, I thought you had it because I would like to know. I'm kind of curious actually, but I guess that's that. There's no date, so it might be old, it might be new. Who knows? Probably not. Well, those numbers look like the numbers from 4 years ago, not the modern numbers. To be honest, I don't think he's put together a Gestapo of Latino people. That doesn't sound like Trump. As a matter of fact, if you go to Washington right now, if you, let's say, I don't know, go to Virginia and pass through Washington and look at what's going on around you, you definitely would know better than that. After you got past the checkpoint, to go
long
look.
story short is that it's ironic to see that most of the people that work for ICE and Border Control, a good amount are Latinos. Just like in the major cities.
Before Trump, I could see that. Yes.
Well, who built the cages, Joe? Hey, Obama. Obama built the cages down there, right? But also what's
Yes.
ironic too is that mostly the black people in the inner cities of Chicago and New York and Baltimore, they all want Trump to come in with the military to combat crime. Isn't that right?
That's not true.
That's not true. Because
No.
the mainstream media didn't tell you that, but it's all over social media. Black people are like, hey, come on in Chicago, Uncle Trump, come clean us up.
I've seen something like that happen before.
Oh,
What it
God.
looks like to me is you get a few black people that want to do it. You pop their faces all over social media. It looks like a lot of people want it. When you talk to most of the people on the ground, they do not want to have to walk past. Do you want the troops there in New York? You got them in the subways and complain about it all the time. Why do you think other black people
Because the
want it?
mainstream media doesn't cover that. That's why I complain about all the time. But now since Donald Trump's doing it, it's going to be everywhere. Isn't that interesting how the media works?
So you didn't want it, but you think everybody else does. That's what you're telling me.
Huh?
You didn't want it in the subways. You're like, why is it there?
But I'm just questioning why is it there? And the thing
so
is,
how did the people in your neighborhood feel about it?
Most people don't realize it until I say something because they're just there. But if you ask anybody, like, why are these people here? That's the main question. People don't like law enforcement.
You mean to tell me they're walking past armed troops and don't notice them?
No, nobody's saying anything because the media won't.
They're not saying anything to you?
Huh?
They're not saying anything to you? I know when I was in New York and the armed and he was there, I hated it. I'm like, yo, why do I gotta walk past? Like, yo, I'm not on base. What the hell is this? You getting stopped at checkpoints to have your ID checked. That's insane. To walk down the block. Are you kidding me?
Well, Uncle Trump is going to do it now, so more people are going to be upset. How about that? When the Democrats do it, it's nice and subtle. They don't really cry because if they do cry, the media won't hear them unless they go on Fox News and they're going to be demonized. So yes, we'll see what Uncle Trump does when he comes to Chicago. Next stop.
Well, the difference being, first of all, is legality, right? I believe there's something called the Posse Comitatus Act. Let's look at that just for kicks and giggles. What is Posse Comitatus and why are we talking legality? Now, being I'm not a legal expert, I think that it might be in my best interest to share it with Google. Posse Comitatus is a term of two distinct meanings. It is a common law concept referring to the power of a sheriff to call upon citizens to assist law enforcement. So you're deputized. It's Posse Comitatus. When sheriff deputizes somebody, Posse Comitatus, which is the more common meaning that you've seen in the movies over the last 20 years. You've seen in cowboy movies and stuff like that. A federal law restricting the use of U.S. Army and Air Force personnel for domestic law enforcement purposes, except with expressly authorized by law. What it prohibits. The Act states that a person who willfully uses the Army or Air Force as a posse comitatus or for law enforcement functions without express authorization by the Constitution or an act of Congress can be fined, imprisoned, or both. The law and related regulations apply to Army, Air Force, and other Department of Defense forces, preventing their direct involvement in domestic law enforcement activities. The National Guard is also covered when it is acting in federal service. So let's break that down, right?
Yes, please.
The law regulates Army, Air Force, and other Department of Defense forces, Navy, Marines, etc. The National Guard is also covered when acting in federal service. So a state can call in their National Guard, but the feds cannot legally do so to fight crime. That's Posse Comitatus. So what we're talking about is somebody sending in troops illegally to harass citizens.
Really?
Now, the theory is that they're trying to restrict the black vote. They're already talking about taking away the women's rights to vote. They're redrawing all the maps, 50%. Now, with Texas included, more than 50% of the maps have been redrawn for Republicans right now. And Trump is so unpopular that what it appears is he's going to send in the troops to blue states to intimidate people so they don't show up at the polls.
Really?
That's why they're going, to stop people from voting. That is the real reason.
This is what more entertainment than education purposes at this point. God damn it. Well, the thing is, he's doing it now. Where's the voting at? The voting is in what, November? This is still August. So how is he preventing them from voting? How?
So you're saying, oh, wait a minute, he didn't wait till the last minute to send in the troops. He started sending them in now, so that by the time it's time to vote, they're already there. Like when Governor Gavin Newsom wanted to have a press conference, he literally sent ICE outside his press conference to intimidate people.
No, no,
That
no,
is
no, no.
insane.
No, it's insane that we're still pushing this when
That's
people
not what he
actually
did.
like people are actually walking around DC right now at 9:30 at night and have nothing to worry about. Like, wow, I can actually walk my dog down the block. It's cleaner, the air's fresher. I don't worry about bothering me about my handout. You go to Union Station, that's where JD Vance went to when DC we first get off the train over there, the buses. I've been over there. And boy, is it miraculous. It's like pristine. Like you could just eat off the floor. People
Have
like
you been over there since
Leo.
they have checkpoints?
Huh?
Have you been there since they have checkpoints?
No.
So you don't know what it's like there now. You're talking about what you imagine it being. Okay, I got you.
Imagine, I'm just giving what the media's feeding me. Okay, True Social. How about that?
Okay, well, try stopping by like I did. The setup. World leaders are expressing concern that Putin does not genuinely want peace, and President Trump's unpredictable nature is making global stability unsustainable. Let's break that down. Woo, that's a lot of big words. So, the leadership in other countries,
Where are you? Are you still doing number one?
yeah, because we've been doing so much, we didn't even get to this. Leadership in other countries. I mean, still at the first bullet point. I mean, the first number one. I think, yeah, like the fourth bullet point, third bullet point, or something like that. They their world leaders don't seem to think that Trump really wants peace. He came out of these meetings with Trump after having the red carpet rolled out. He didn't. Trump promised U.S. wouldn't be there, NATO wouldn't be there. You know what Putin promised? Yeah, I'll have a meeting with him. I'll have a meeting with him. He left and started bombing citizens again. And what did Trump say? I don't like it. Then what did Putin do? He bombs a U.S. factory. He bombs a U.S. factory. And Ukraine strikes back. He got tanks rolling. Putin got tanks rolling toward Ukraine, shooting at them, holding American flags while they're doing it. Ukraine strikes back, hits an oil refinery. I think it's Hungary started beefing that they hit an oil refinery, and Trump starts admonishing Zelensky because they're fighting back, but doesn't say anything about a U.S. factory being hit. Nothing about a U.S. factory being hit. He didn't. He said, you know what he said? He said, "Well, there's things happening in the war. I don't like anything about the war." But when Ukraine strikes back, Zelensky's wrong. He shouldn't be doing that. So it's okay for Putin to be sending tanks in with holding U.S. flags like we're partnered with him. But if Zelensky strikes back, Zelensky's wrong, and all they're doing is defending themselves on their territory. Yeah, I'd strike back too, wouldn't you?
Well, again, President Trump is in a position where he has to let this play out. Zelensky is
But
at a
that's not what he
disadvantage.
did. What he
Yeah,
did
but you
was he
see,
admonished Zelensky for fighting back and had nothing to say to Putin for attacking an American facility. He attacked an American. That's a declaration of war. Where I come from,
well,
you
guess
can't attack
what?
somebody's
Well, guess what?
factories.
Thanks to our president as a president of peace, he doesn't want war. So he's supposed to, I guess,
Really?
take the
So then
L
explain Venezuela.
and just give.
Then explain Venezuela.
What happened with Venezuela? What happened with Venezuela, man?
He's sending warships to Venezuela to attack and try and kill their leader. What do you mean? What happened?
This is all news to me.
Oh well.
The point is this, that when it comes to Ukraine, Zelensky is just going to have to give up the land to Putin and let's just close this chapter and get some peace. That's my point, in my opinion, about that. Ooh, excuse me.
Okay. Okay, that's not up to date. Wow. Search engines are slow. Okay, the New York Times is probably I'm probably gonna firewall this one. Yeah. Uh YouTube, U.S. warships, CBS News. I don't want videos. CBS News, please tell me I can just read this. Just so you know, since you don't know what your peacetime president that doesn't want nothing but peace and Nobel Peace Prize president is doing. The United States is deploying three, I don't know this word, Aegis guided missile destroyers to the waters of Venezuela as part of President Trump's efforts to combat threats from Latin American drug cartels. The White House official confirmed to CBS News on Wednesday, confirming a report by the Reuters news agency. The USS Gravely, the USS Jason Dunham, and the USS Samson were to depart for the region over the next few days, the official said. Who is this war criminal that he's after? You didn't read your notes because this is in here. I'm not going to continue here. This is in the notes. We're definitely talking about this. Unpredictable alliance. President Trump is showing a photo of Putin expressing his hope that he will come to a meeting. So after he's told that Putin bombed a U.S. factory, he holds up a picture of himself and Putin and says he hopes he comes to the meeting. How does the U.S. owner, the owner of the U.S. company whose warehouse was bombed, thankfully nobody got hurt because it was overnight, feel about the U.S. president partnering with somebody bombing U.S. facilities? What the hell are we doing? How do you defend that?
Okay, let me see. U.S. suddenly bombed Ukraine, right? Let's see.
No, bombed U.S. factory. And then he got upset at Putin, at Zelensky, because oil factories was bombed. Later for the American facility.
Well, that's what happened there. But I actually looked at briefly at your Venezuela stuff, and we're just trying to stop drug cartels. So
no, he's at the drug cartel person he's after is the president of the country. He's saying, oh, he's not a legitimate president. Oh, he's running a drug cartel. When he was democratically voted in, you're literally going in to kill the president. Literally.
Well, okay.
That's who he's after.
What's going on with Haiti? How about that? Let's switch gears to Haiti. Barbecue. Remember him?
Dion.
Next up.
No, I can't just breeze by that one. That was not just a breeze by subject. Trump increases. Oh, watch this. You ready? No. I want to share while I'm typing this in. This is good. This is the stuff that you need to see.
What happens now, Leo?
Okay, let's type this in. Trump. Oh, now I get the Ouroboros. All right, come on. Trump increases bounty on Venezuela. I don't remember his name. It's in the notes. President. Oh man, my typing skills with this microphone in the way suck. Trump doubles reward to $50 million for arrest of. All right.
Maduro. That's number 6. You have it at number 6.
Yeah. Well, all right. Yeah, it's there. It's there. He is after the president of Venezuela. He's literally sending warships to arrest the president. He's Maduro. Yes, Maduro. He's literally there rallying his troops and arming his civilians to defend his country and himself. Because Trump has put a $50 million bounty on him. This is the guy you're talking about getting a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yes, he needs one. Believe me, with the mess
yes,
he's inherited.
He inherited a mess
from Joe Biden.
The mess that that causing him to want to assassinate presidents. Trump was upset. Okay. Anyway, now we can move forward. Wow. Oh, this is. Oh, because Frank said I did that. That's beautiful. I have all my notes. So what are we at? To the legal system under scrutiny. Oh, I see. I sent myself twice. I messed up and got that. My apologies.
Yeah, because I.
So where we at?
I deleted the old
domestic fallout. So does Trump deserve? Trump is doing all this while he's floating a third term. He's got 2028 hats. He's selling them to people that come visit the White House.
He's just trolling, and you know it.
When he was sitting there talking to Zelensky, he said, "So, if we're at war when the third term comes up, I could stay."
Sad, just sad. Listen, the man's trolling. If anything, Eric or Trump
Anytime he's
Jr.
trolling something like that, he's floating ideas to see what sticks. He's going for it.
Is
He's
he
already got the hats out. The man wants to stay in power.
really? Well, you said the man is a liar. I'm telling you, the
He
man is
is.
trolling.
Because he says he's not trying to do it. He is lying
Just
while
like
he's
he's
putting it in
trying
your
to deport
face.
American citizens. That's unconstitutional, my friend. He's trolling, and he has people like you riled up the way he needs them to be.
I hope you're not really believing that. I fear you do, but I hope you know better.
Either way, people still want him to run for a third term. So even if he
Oh,
could run again,
now you
even if
sound like
he
Trump.
could run
Either way,
again, he
well, they
probably
want,
wouldn't win. How
people,
about that?
everybody's saying they want it.
Who
That's
do
like
the
Trump.
Democrats have to stop him? Nobody.
Well, Gavin Newsom is stepping up the bat.
He's inauthentic.
He isn't authentic, but he's better than Trump. I mean, I have my problems with Democrats, but Trump's a problem. I mean, when you have the largest economy, the fourth largest economy in the world in one state, and you have the highest homeless population, there's some issues. When you have the highest unemployment on top of that, there's some problems. But it's better than Trump. Anything's better than Trump.
Yeah, I'm sure, but the Democrats have nothing. They have to worry about their own socialists and destroying their party. Gavin Newsom is inauthentic. He's trying to be like Trump, and it's still the Democrats are eating him alive. Good luck.
He's not trying to be like Trump. He's making fun of Trump, and everybody's like, "Oh my god!"
And it's
And the
so
Republicans are like, "Oh,
inauthentic.
how
People don't
childish is
believe
he?
him.
Oh, he
People don't
shouldn't
believe
be
him.
doing this on Twitter. Oh my god, he's tweeting in all caps." And all he does is having his team show how ridiculous the president is, and it's working. It looks ridiculous. It makes me laugh, but I laugh because it's so ridiculous. And I'm like, it's just as ridiculous when Trump does it. Except for when Trump does it, Trump is trying to hurt people. Gavin Newsom is being silly. Trump does this trying to hurt people. It's nothing to laugh at.
Well, he's not going to win. So Trump's in office. Newsom looks silly. 2028 isn't here yet. So I doubt Newsom will be the front runner. Kamala Harris is not coming back to politics. When? So buy her book, okay?
Gavin Newsom. Stagecraft. Putin's rules. Speak on red carpet, no questions. All right. The consequences, Ukraine factory bombed. We covered that. Domestic fallout. Trump hits a third term. Hints at a third term. I mentioned that twice.
Which one are you reading from? I thought this is different.
We're still on one. I'm finishing one up now. We're about done. Is Trump reshaping U.S. foreign policy or undermining democratic norms? Both. Are Putin's conditions for meeting a show meaningful? Are Putin's conditions for meetings a show or strength or weakness? And you think that Putin's conditions are strength or weakness? Okay, where are you?
Now I'm just trying to find the notes because you sent one yesterday. You sent one like a half an hour.
Yeah, the one today. I redid it and sent it to you today.
Right, because the one today that we have in the notes, it ends with rewriting global rules, and then number 2 is legal system under scrutiny. Right?
No,
Well, that's what happened. Number 2, legal system under scrutiny.
that's 2. Okay, so let's do this right quick. Because it's important. This is important. So Bolton's house was raided. Are you aware? I know you are.
Yes, Bolton, John Bolton.
Give me your input.
Well, guess what? This can't be political revenge, and let me prove it to you how. When you do
You got to give a little background on it before you go into it. Everybody doesn't know who John Bolton is.
All right, John Bolton was the what was his title again? He was the secretary of something. Wow, damn, Leo, you got me on that one. His title.
Hold up, and I don't remember either. All right, give me 1 second. And we're going to be losing people. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Faster, faster. Oh no, they're gone. We're losing them. He
So you
served as
mean
the 25th
ambassador? But before that, he
to
was
the
doing the
United
security
Nations
stuff.
and the 26th United Nations Security, National Security Advisor under Trump.
Right. Long story short, this is the real warmonger for the United States, this guy. And during Trump's first term, Trump said, yes, these countries were scared when he used to walk in the room with Bolton because they know this man will destroy everything. Long story short, Bolton, another guy that wanted to destroy Trump and sabotage everything. But now the feds have built up quite the case against this guy before Trump was elected, if you think about it, because in order to get a search warrant of this level, you got to have some good evidence that you built up before you get the judge to clear it. So that's why I say it wasn't just no 6, 7 month, 8 months operation sting to go in this man's house. This had to be a built up case before Trump even won the election. That's what I believe. So to blame Trump is wrong.
Right. Biden was after Bolton. That's your take on it. Wow, you say some wild things. Okay. So here's the thing. 2 weeks ago, Trump was saying how he wanted Bolton to go to jail. 2 weeks later, Bolton's house is raided. What did they raid him for? They said they raided him for things that he was cleared for. He was cleared to print a book. The book went through scrutiny under the government to make sure that everything in it was cleared. That happened. Here's a security clearance. Everything that was in it, and the reason they went through his house is to make sure that he didn't have anything that violated his security clearance. Sounds familiar, Mar-a-Lago? That violated his security
Yes,
clearance.
exactly.
Well, that's what Bolton got one for now. The same thing that happened in Mar-a-Lago, but it's okay for Bolton, right?
They found documents in Joe Biden's house too, but you want to talk about that, right?
They did. They did. You should get Biden. Oh, y'all already are. That's good.
Well, he's not cognitively inclined to be put under a judge, so he's got cancer now. Wow, how did he get cancer so fast? He was there the whole 4 years, but his doctor won't swear on the oath to tell us what's going on. The 4 years he was president with his cognitive.
Okay, I'm tired of this. Have you ever known anybody with cancer?
Of course, we all have.
So, when you discover cancer, how long does it take to discover it?
What do you mean? If it's caught early,
Yeah, what happens if it's caught early?
then you go through your usual treatments, I guess. But the point is, this is the
No, 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 no,
president.
no, no, no. We're not going to just cut
You don't
that
talk
off.
about Joe Biden?
So what happens if you catch it late?
Well, then you still have to go through your treatments.
So either he was going through treatments the entire time,
And the public didn't
and
know, and they should have known.
his hair would have fallen out.
Well, he does have the plugs. Remember that. Look at Joe Biden's hair throughout the years. He does have those plugs. So.
The man was not going for cancer treatments.
No, he wasn't. It was one big cover up. This man has the best medical.
If you don't just cover that, what do you stop?
We're
Use your
talking
brain.
about how the doctor lied to us. He was not.
I would like you to use your brain here. This is what I'm gonna ask you to use your brain.
I am.
If he was either he was going for cancer treatments, or he wasn't, and he'd be dead already.
That's not the point.
Cancer.
The point is the cover up. His doctor didn't let the American people know that he was sick.
If he had been severely sick and with cancer, he would have either been going through treatments, or he'd be dead.
No,
they did not know he was not. He did not have cancer his entire presidency. He either had been going through treatments or he'd be dead, because the treatment for cancer, in case you're unaware, the treatment for cancer happens to be radiation.
That's
and it wouldn't just be, and it would not just.
The point is, his doctor lied to the world and said the president is in perfect health. That's the point. They didn't disclose his cancer, his subtone, his acne, nothing. And the doctor won't swear on the oath, like, hey, did you lie to us? Come on, we'll ask you a few questions about Joe Biden's health during his 4 years, because we were told, the American people, he's in perfect condition. We should vote for another 4 years. And then they had the great debate with Trump, and Trump knocked him out. Now it's exposed. We could have 4 years with a corpse, my friend. Thank God.
We probably are, because right now, Kankles has a serious heart condition.
Oh, God.
again, entertainment and educational purposes only, but I would implore you to look up the disease that the White House has said that he has. It is a serious heart condition.
But guess
Like,
what?
yo,
The medical department at the White House actually made this public. Joe
they had no
Biden,
choice because the wounds got
no,
spotted on his hands. They tried to cover it up until they couldn't. They said he
Trump could
was
have covered it
fine
too, but
when he
he
was tripping
didn't.
up the staircase and we was talking about the size of his ankles for the last 3 months when me and you debated on it and he was like, oh, well, it
Guess
doesn't look like
what?
Biden tripped on the staircase.
Biden didn't, doctor didn't disclose anything, and they covered it all
And
up.
neither did Trump's. Matter of fact, you was defending it. Nah,
Trump stuff
Trump
is
was
out in the
fine.
open, and the media sees it all. The media looked the other way for Biden, and that's not
They
fair.
looked the other way for Trump too. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to deny it. They
No,
looked the other way until his hand got exposed, and it was like, yo, what is that black mark on his hand? And people that have just a little bit of knowledge might have, I don't know exactly what they said. And again, entertainment educational purposes only. It looked like blood swelling underneath his skin, which would have been caused by one of two things. Well, one thing, a serious heart condition. It's sad to see. It's really sad to see.
it's a good thing. Again, Donald Trump is transparent, whereas the previous administration is not when it comes to his medical.
Yo, he sits on the table trying to hide his legs and trying not to show his hands right now.
But it's
Right
all been
now.
ask Caroline Levitt, the competent United States press secretary, unlike her president, her predecessor, who always would lie and cover up and hold the water for the blue team and Joe Biden. She put it out there too. So
Both sides lie till they can't. Both sides. Oh no, you Republicans are perfect.
all right, how
Gotcha.
about this? One side lies better than the other. The other side with Biden, they horrible at lying. That's why nobody believed them.
Nobody believed him, but Trump was so sick that they had no choice but to let it out.
No.
You you can't hide how sick that
You
man
can't
is.
hide
He was
Biden's
literally walking
cognitive
back and forth
decline.
on the roof of the White House talking about putting nuclear bombs on there. He was walking back and forth on the roof of the White House, talking about putting nuclear bombs there because he brought everything, because he purchased everything. Like, the cognitive decline is really serious.
Yeah,
And
right. Like Joe Biden, you told us that he wasn't cognitively. You said
I never said that. I never said that. I never said that.
Let's
You
move
cannot
on.
find a quote of me anywhere saying
Let's
Biden
move
was not
on.
inclined.
Of
I never
course,
said
Trump's
that.
cognitive decline. Yeah, for sure. This man's everywhere. He's playing golf. He's answering questions real time. He's on the freaking Air Force One taking questions. This man's always on the go. But Joe Biden was behind the podium, reading the teleprompter. Mr. President, this way, because he used to run into walls, get lost. Not this guy. Always on the go.
You really believe that? I feel bad for you.
Joe Biden was horrible. Yes, I believe that. He was cognitively, he's still
You
cancerous.
believe that Trump is okay. If you really believe that,
Much better than
I
Biden.
feel bad for you.
Much better than Biden.
Biden's going to outlive him.
Hopefully, we'll see. Because he's not the president anymore.
Biden's going to outlive him. That's the wild part. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's the truth. Well, barring something unforeseeable, looking at both of their physical conditions at the present moment, Trump is really sick, man. Like, if you really care about him, you should be praying for him. Trump is sick. I mean that. The man, like, the blood clots in his hand, they're not clots. The blood pooling, that's what it's called, in his hand like that, and his ankle swelling like that, it looked almost like, what do they call it, congenital heart failure. Look, the man is sick. Like, this is
You better
bad.
pray he's sick, Leo, because everybody wants him to go down. So you better pray, please. Let Trump be sick, please. But otherwise,
I'm praying for
like, he's
something, or
going
I'm looking
down.
up. No, I think the difference between us is I can look at it through the middle because I'm not so far up his ass.
I'm not. I just want you to look critically at Joe Biden. And where was all this smoke with Joe Biden?
Joe Biden can't make a sentence.
Well, now
Well, Trump, but he's in better physical shape right now than Trump is. Trump, I don't think you want to. Okay, how do I put this? What is the worst thing that can happen to you? Your brain going dead, right? Probably. What's the second thing? Pulmonary. You can't breathe, right?
Okay.
Okay. Why is not being able to breathe bad? Because every organ in your body, including your skin, needs oxygen. How does the body get oxygen? The red blood cells feed the oxygen. How do the blood cells get around the body? The heart pumps them. A problem with the heart means oxygen is not getting around the body. If you are missing oxygen for like, what is it, 7 seconds, you're dead. So it's probably quicker than that. You can't. A heart problem can lead to, like, the man is under, like, right now he's sleeping under monitors. I promise you. He's got people monitoring him while he's asleep. He is being, he's sick. He's being like, you can't. He goes out in public and makes a show, and then he has to go back and be monitored because the way the way his legs are, that means that there's blood pooling in his legs, or it's probably water. With congenital heart failure, I watched my aunt go through this. I was very close to my aunt. It was horrific. I know what I'm looking at. Water pools up. Now, it might not be congenital heart failure. I hope it's not. But it's something along the lines.
Nothing is impeding his judgment or his physical acuity to be the president of the United States. So
he's walking back and forth on a roof screaming about putting nuclear weapons up there. He's sitting in front of the prime minister. Was it France? Where you at? Oh yeah, hi. Like, he's not recognizing people sitting right in front of him. I know you're gonna make up a reason. Go ahead, I'm listening. I can't wait to hear this one.
Well, I will say this. So far, we know the president is in his right state of mind. He can control himself, unlike his predecessor. And so far, the public is just happy where it is. Minorities, blacks especially, are happy that he's singing the National Guard to come get some safety in their streets. The Latinos are happy. The border's closed along Mexico right there. And so he's doing his job. Now, mind you, he's not doing good with Epstein. We'll switch to. He's not doing good with Israel, Ukraine, and those areas. But when it comes to national security, he's doing great. When it comes to inner city security and public safety, he's doing great. So with immigration, he's doing great.
All right. I think I was speaking about this Ghislaine Maxwell thing before you came on. Let's real quickly. Epstein is one of the worst monsters to ever walk the face of the earth.
Okay.
He molested over 1,000 girls, reportedly as young as 12. Some that we know of. One Virginia Dufresne, I think her name was, that got picked up at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago, was 13. His girlfriend was teaching these little girls how to properly give him fellatio the way he likes it.
Let's talk about something else.
Okay, let's talk about Donald Trump's wife, who was introduced to him by Epstein.
Let's talk about how the Democrat judges are not releasing the Epstein files and giving the okay. So it's the Democrat judges now. Ooh, they're not letting our Epstein files be released.
What is their reason? What did they say? What did we tell y'all before?
I know that they're Democrat, and nobody's saying that the Democrat judges now all of a sudden, huh?
What are the Democrat judges saying? They're saying that legally you knew when you came to us that we could not release these files, but you can. They're sitting on your desk. You're coming for us for files about this thick when you got files like this thick that you can release. We can't release the files because it's against the law. So why are you coming to us and trying to blame us when you know you should be doing it? Pam Bundy has them on her desk. Everything. We have like this much of the files. Y'all have everything. And y'all are coming to us to try and get us to release something that you know we can't release. Why is it that Ghislaine Maxwell gets interviewed by Todd Blanche, Trump's personal attorney, who failed him miserably and got him 34 counts of felonies when he tried to defend him and couldn't? Why is it that Todd Blanche goes to interview Ghislaine Maxwell, and Ghislaine Maxwell's like, Donald Trump didn't do anything. He was always a perfect gentleman. I didn't do anything. Epstein didn't do anything. He only was around little girls because he liked to listen to them and talk about music. And then afterwards, she gets shipped off from a maximum security prison to a camp where soon after she can come out 12 hours a day because nobody did anything. I didn't do anything. Epstein likes to listen to little girls do music. Trump was always a perfect gentleman.
Exactly. So nothing to see here, family. But let's expose Bill Clinton and the rest of the game.
Wait. Before you do that, I have to say, so nothing to see, right? From the convicted felon that already we know committed perjury. Okay,
we're so happy he's a convicted felon, so you can say he's a convicted felon.
Oh, wow. I know there's a lot of convicted felons in that realm, but in this particular time, I was talking about Ghislaine.
Okay.
See that? You're so defensive about Trump. I say convicted felon, you're jumping at it. No, he's not a convicted felon. He's a convicted felon. But I was talking about Ghislaine the entire time. She is convicted of assaulting little girls. She's a monster. And Trump wants her free because she said, even though she perjures herself and probably wouldn't take her word for it if you had half a brain, not you per se, but anybody. I'm innocent. You're convicted. We know you did it. You have all these girls saying you did it. There's evidence of you doing it. We know you did it. He's innocent. I'm innocent. He was a perfect gentleman. Epstein only liked to watch little girls and talk about music. Talk about music. And this is who's Trump is in so much trouble that he has to go and get a convicted sex assaulter of little girls to defend his name while trying to cover up the files. And then you said the judges wouldn't release them, but the Democrats subpoenaed them. And what did the Trump administration do? What did the Department of Justice under Trump do? What did Pam Bondi have done? The leader of the Department of Justice, the number one attorney in the land who has all of the files, after they went through the files and scrubbed Donald Trump's names out of it, released files that was already in the public domain, stuff that we already knew. Why? What are they hiding? Why is it that you sent an attorney in? You fired the attorney that actually knew what was going on with the case. Maureen, you're fired. Maureen Comey was kicked out. You send in Todd Blanche, and you don't. Okay, fine. Let's devil's advocate. You ready? We're gonna do it now. Now, this I was waiting on this moment. It's like when I was in court Friday against two attorneys.
Oh,
and won. Feeling good about that.
Well, pat yourself on the back, buddy.
For real. Like, yo, God was with me. Anyway, it was a civil suit I won. I got my money. God was with me. It was all God. True. I could not have done that without God. I gotta say that. I don't want to. Like the humility had to be there. Like for real. I could not have won that case. So he sends Todd Blanche in. Todd Blanche says, "Okay, Trump is innocent. Bill Clinton's innocent. Ghislaine Maxwell's innocent. Epstein's innocent." And he didn't ask, "Can you give me any names?" He walked out of this meeting and didn't get one name. Instead, what he got was her move to a minimum security prison. It reeks of cover-up.
Nothing new to see here, family. Just stay tuned to next time. President Trump and administration have bigger fish to fry.
Yes, except for the fact that he needs to keep his name away from whatever he's so guilty of that he's willing to protect a convicted SA offender of young kids. That makes him as big a monster as up by itself. Trump ruling. Trump's not. Oh yeah, there was a rumor going around that Trump got cleared of one of his things that he got convicted of, and there was a $500 million fine put on him, and they said the fine was too high. So he's like, "I'm innocent. I told you I'm innocent." He's not innocent. The fine was too high. They got to reevaluate how much he's got to pay, not if he's guilty. Just throw that out there because I like to report real news. So the big question: are judges protecting justice, or are they protecting the elite? Dion, any thoughts?
Are judges protecting the elite?
Yeah.
Well, again, that's the thing. These are Democrat judges. So they're probably protecting the elite, protecting themselves. It could be anything with the Epstein files. Because even judges probably went down there too. So, but
hold up, time out.
You have to say the word Democrat for these judges because you would say Republican for everything else. So let's put the Democrats on blast again.
I can't do that. I will agree with you both. I'll agree with you both 100%. Without question. Somebody's being protected, and do I think it's on one side? No, absolutely not. Is Trump in there? Yeah, definitely. But are there Democrats? Absolutely. I don't think an R or a D is going to make a difference I honestly don't think. I think that's silly to believe. If you believe that, you know, you believe in Santa. Anyway,
Ooh, excuse me.
let's talk about this Texas gerrymandering.
Again?
Well, I mean, it's still one of the top news articles, and I know we covered it a little bit earlier. Actually, I think we covered it enough. You're right. You didn't want to throw in there, oh, the Democrats are doing it in California. I'm surprised at you. I'm
No,
ashamed of you.
normally I point to Massachusetts, which has over nearly 40% registered Republicans and has zero representation in Congress. But we don't want to talk about that right now.
I would point out that in Texas, only 60% of the population is non-Spanish speaking whites, but they want to gerrymander out all the blacks.
Oh God.
Those are. I thought we were talking numbers. You talk numbers. I thought we were talking numbers. We can't talk numbers.
Long story short, Texas is a red state regardless. It has Democrat
It's
and
a red state
Republican.
because of the gerrymandering.
Well, they didn't do it yet, did they? It's
Yeah,
both
they did. They've been
both
fighting to keep the
Democrat.
gerrymandered lines for years, up until Trump
Point
called and
is,
said they wanted
it
more
has both
seats.
Democrat and Republican representation in Congress, proportional to its registered voters in both parties. Massachusetts does not. It has nothing but Democrat
Pull
representation
it up
in
on screen.
Congress.
Show it up. Show it up. Pull it up.
Oh God, let's talk about something else. Let's see, where is it?
I feel like that about Epstein, but the truth must be spoken about. Sorry.
Let's see.
I'm happy that Gavin Newsom is retaliating and is like, we're going to stand our ground. We're not going to let be pushed around. I don't know if I'm a Gavin Newsom fan. I don't know anything about his politics, so I can't.
Or the community as a whole.
What is happening?
No, I opened up a screen from Massachusetts and they started talking at me.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Gavin Newsom's politics. I know that his state could be run better, but I also know that what's happening in this country must be stopped. And I believe that's a sentiment running across the board for the Democrats and independents like myself alike. Even Republicans are starting to join the board. The Epstein files was the crack in the armor. They was like, yo, hold up, time out. You lying about every damn thing. Prices is not going up. What do you mean? You were supposed to bring prices down day one. Why are prices going up? People try to deny it, but you can't deny what it is. Prices are going up. Just is what it is.
Okay, let's go to the next thing because I'm not finding what I need to find other than the fact that there's no Republican congressperson from Massachusetts other than what 31 years it says here. Okay, fine. What's the next thing? Cracker Barrel?
Hold on, let me, because you keep saying it. Let's find out. How red or blue is your state? Is this a good place to do it? Can we? What, Massachusetts? That's MA, right?
Mass. MASS. Massachusetts.
What is the two-letter abbreviation?
MA?
That's what I said. Okay. So let's talk about it. Let's see. Massachusetts, that's here. Woo! I see why they don't have no representation. There is no, they shouldn't have any representation. The numbers you're saying is not true. USA Facts, I never looked this up before, but you keep saying it, so I said I'll tackle it. And it doesn't appear that they deserve to have representation in Massachusetts. Everybody wants to be blue in Massachusetts. It's the only state up here. It's literally the only state. So you can stop using that talking point. Here, at least there's some like closeness, 2 and 3 points. Here, it's crazy. Let's go to page 2 and see if there's any other state like that in the union.
Okay.
Nope. Not even close. A lot of red. This is red. That's red. This red, 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 red.
Rhode Island and
Only
New York.
oh no, there's one more. New York.
New York and Rhode Island, but New York
Rhode Island?
has Republican congressional people.
Yeah, it's very close in some places in New York. See this little area here? It's close. Where's Rhode Island? Oh, Rhode Island's not close at all. Damn. But there's far more red states than blue that are like that, as you can see. But you can also see why Mass might not have any delegates. The closest is a +8, which is, and that's 1988. Now it's not even close. Like, nah, that's crazy. Doesn't look like they would have much representation there.
Long story short, if they drew the lines differently, there may be a chance for a Republican candidate to win. That's the point. But the lines are drawn in such a way that each congressional district has overwhelmingly more of registered voters of Democrats than Republicans. But if they drew the lines in such a way that all Republicans can be clustered in one lump inside of the district, they may be able to vote for a Republican congressperson. That's the point of redistricting and reapportionment.
Okay, so here's the difference between what you said and reality. What you just said was, if they drew the lines just right, they might be able to squeeze in a Republican in an all blue state, in a massively blue state. While in Texas,
yes,
where there are more black people than any place else in this country.
Black doesn't mean Democrat. Ding, 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 ding.
You're the one who said blacks normally vote Democrat, not me.
I said if a Republican black person wins in Texas, that destroys everything. And that's why I said there's no voter suppression, disenfranchisement, and the Voting Rights Act has nothing to do with this other than to scare the black people and get them all upset in Texas.
So then if it has nothing to do with it, why is Texas trying to sue to get rid of it? If it has nothing to do with it, then why are they trying to get rid of it?
I don't know.
They're trying to get rid of it because
I'm talking about redistricting. I'm talking about what they call
No. You said like the VRA trying to scare people.
Rights Act.
Right, the Voters' Rights Act. If it doesn't mean anything, then why are they working so hard to get rid of it?
Well, you bring it up every time we talk about redistricting. I'm just saying
because they're working to get rid of it. Why are they working to get rid of it if it doesn't mean anything?
I don't know, but you bring it up with redistricting. It has nothing to do with redistricting.
Because they're doing it in tandem. The reason they're working it together is because they need to do both. Even with the redistricting, if they can't get rid of the Voters' Rights Act, then what will happen is you'll still have Democrats there. They have to get rid of the VRA. Why? Because not only does it protect blacks, but it protects Latin voters who make up, I think, 39% of the state. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. What percentage? I'm just going to do it like this.
Here we go again. AI
of Texas. Yeah. Oh my God. He's such a. I can't believe it. We got to look at numbers. Why do we got to look at numbers? Why do numbers matter? What does it matter with numbers? Numbers this, numbers that. Let's take a look at numbers. Non-Hispanic white, 39%. This is Texas. According to 2020 census, 39.7% of the Texas population was non-Hispanic white, less than 40%, including the Hispanic population who would identify as white but are a separate ethnic group. Total white population was about 42.5%, less than half. Here's a breakdown of the racial ethnic composition of Texas from the 2020 census. Non-Hispanic whites, 39.7. Hispanic, 39.3. There's just as many Hispanics as there are whites. So if you take away the Latin vote, which is protected by the Voters' Rights Act, then you really have a majority there. While blacks, even though it's the state where we're at most is we're only represented by 11%. Asians is 5, Chomers and other races 13. There's Hispanics and blacks together make up more than half the state. So the Voters' Rights Act is a necessary component to combine with redistricting if you're trying to successfully gerrymander the state of Texas. And then once you take out the black and once you take out the black and Hispanics, then you can do the same thing in other states where the numbers are not going to be what they look like on that census count. And those are hardcore numbers. Go ahead, argue the numbers. I love it when you do that. Argue the facts.
The fact is this: you can't have people of color unless you lump everybody in the same damn bucket of crayons. But the black crayon has to always be the face of all these movements and the Voting Rights Act. But in Texas, again, they're Republican, Latino representative in Congress. All we need is just have one black Republican, and then Texas will be fine. But anyway, the Voting Rights Act.
One black Republican for more than 10% of the population. Got it.
We're only 14% of the population of the United States of America, yet the Congressional Black Caucus has the most members. Does that make sense, family? And they don't do nothing for black people except for Hip Hop History Month anyway. Does that make sense, Black America? Let's stop the nonsense.
Okay, so let's talk about 14% of the
population
of
of the United States of America. Yes.
Yes. Let's take a look at that. When's the last time you took a census?
When's the last time what? That took the census?
Yeah.
2020.
When's the last time your neighbors did?
What?
When's the last time the people you know took the census?
It's supposed to be in 2020.
The people you know, honestly.
Yeah, everybody took the census in 2020, Leo.
Everybody took the census?
Not well, it's voluntarily, so you can't say everybody. But the census was issued in 2020. Yes.
The census was issued in 2020, but what percentage of people actually took it?
I'm not sure.
So then we're not sure how accurate those numbers are.
We're sure.
Here's something I am sure of.
What are you sure of?
Those numbers are not right. Those numbers are not right. Those numbers are not right.
They already said it. They said the numbers favored the Democrat states and actually were undercounted in the red states. So yes, you're right. The census was done wrong.
The vast majority of people you talk to, if you ask them, especially people of color, were not counted in the census.
What do you mean? They actually made the census, watch this, people of color, they actually made the census more diverse this time. Instead of checking off black/African American, you could check off black/African American and then choose Jamaican or choose Nigerian or put any other little subset under there. So that way you guys get more resources under the umbrella instead of just being under one pot called black. So I'm not trying to hear that.
That makes a lot of sense, except for let's look at that realistically. So what that means is if you're Jamaican, you're not black. If you're Haitian, you're not black. If you're African, you're not black, right?
No, that just means that you were under our umbrella for everything, but then because people want to divide themselves, you argued and you said, yes, I want to know how many Jamaicans are in this area, not just black, but Jamaicans, because we're not all black/African American. That's the way I was told as a descendant of slave stock. What do you say, Mr. Native American? Oh, by the way, the Native American little checkmark box, AARPCI, remember that? Asian Pacific Islander? What's going on over there? Did you even look at the new census demographic breakdown so everybody get a taste of the action?
So here's the thing.
Yes.
They broke down everybody to count them from separately. So now me and you are not both black, so there's not as many blacks because I'm Native American, right? So that takes away from the amount of blacks that there are. But if you're from England, if you're from Russia, if you're from Ireland, if you're from Scotland, you're white. So they group all the white people together and give them this nice big number and then break down all the black people and make us look like we're less than we are. When if you actually did the correct math, we are as many and probably outnumber whites in this country. But that's just math. Anyway, I digress. I proved it wrong. Those are the numbers. I've known this since I was a kid. I've proven it over and over again. So anyway, redistricting. Does college experience show systemic abuse of minority voices? Yes. So you said they locked up the young lady in the chamber, Collier, and you feel that it's okay that they just took this black woman and threw her in and wouldn't let her out because she wouldn't sign up to let a cop follow her around because she wanted to do something completely legal.
They should have let this. They should have just let this play out, put all the other bills on the docket like they strategically did when it comes to financing public works and certain programs. Let them not show up and let all these programs fall down the toilet, and they could just blame them not to get reelected. Get it? Because they didn't come to work. That makes sense. But hey, it is what it is.
So you mean they could have done this legally without kidnapping somebody? Because when you detain someone without legal warrant to do so, that's what it's called,
Right,
kidnapping.
they could have did that way, and that way everybody would have suffered across the board that needed them to vote on all these issues on the docket. But hey, that's just my opinion. But now
I mean, I wouldn't have liked it, but it would have been legal. That would have been the correct way to do it. Isn't that what the Republicans do in Congress?
they still would have blamed the Republicans and Donald Trump. Donald Trump anyway.
Oh no, I mean, I wouldn't have liked it, but it would have been legal. The Republicans did do it all the time in Congress. They hold up, and now you got to wait because like what's going. Maybe the Democrats will do it September 30th. We'll talk about that on another show. Anyway, because that's what you're talking about, but that's a whole nother show. We are going to dive into economics a little bit, though. Are you still going to deny that prices are going up? I'm waiting to hear this one.
Am I still
Before your
denying
excuse was that prices are going up.
I'm not a big shopper, so I don't know what to believe.
That was good out.
Exactly. You have mouths to feed, Leo, so you know better than me, of course. I'm eating peanut butter out of a little bit of spoon. That's how bad it is. single man, no kids, live alone.
All right, no problem. Stocks are going up. Stocks are skyrocketing.
Donald Trump and the tariff war. Oh, by the way, didn't Canada come and bend the knee to Trump recently? You know what
Let's talk about that. They said, well, we're paying less tariffs than everybody else. Let's do it. Let's make peace with America. Nobody else has got this good a deal as we do.
Not just America, Donald Trump.
Yeah, agreed, Don.
All that trash you talk about Uncle Trump, now it's FAFO. The more you're going to find out. And that's what happened to the Canadian Prime Minister, Presidente guy.
Oh, no. Well, no, I think you might be overstating. He is still saying we're going to build up our military. We're going to make Canada the strongest economy in all of NATO. He's saying this is what he's saying. These are his talking points. He's saying that there's still going to be tariffs on aluminum and steel.
That doesn't negate the fact when you deal with Donald Trump and the United States of America, the more you're going to find out. And that's just another example, just like the UK.
I can understand your feelings on it, but what I said,
my American pride, my nationalism, my African American dream, baby. Yeah, another win for Uncle Trump.
He definitely got that one. Carney bending the knee. Canada should be ashamed. But listen, this is the #1 purchaser in the world. And he doesn't even know, we got such a high homeless rate and unemployment. We buy stuff because those are money buy and step over the homeless guy in the street to go to the store to do it. Because that's how great capitalism is working here. But we'll tackle that another time. That's a whole situation. Something must be done about the state of affair of poverty in this country. Capitalism as it is broken. We need to figure out how to show up and fix it. I'm hoping that once we've dealt with the emergency at hand, we can come together and work out a solution that can increase our democracy and shore up the holes in capitalism and make it work again. That is, make it work, because I don't know if it ever has. Anyway, the economy, stagflation, which is inflation going down and unemployment going up. Stagnant unemployment and inflation. Stagnant job growth. Unemployment going up, stagnant job growth, people not getting jobs, and inflation, prices going up.
Remember, Leo, like we said in a previous episode, that unemployment has gone up for non-Americans, whereas employment has gone up for Americans. For case in point, I spoke to my homegirl in Flint, Michigan. She's like, wow, Dion, never I've seen so many brothers going to work, landscaping, carpentry. So why can't we hear from the people in Detroit and Flint and Michigan, the black people we love, and say how wonderful Uncle Trump's economy, getting rid of the illegals, has worked out for them? Huh?
The vast majority of people are losing their jobs.
The non-American citizens.
That is not something that can be debated. It is literally so bad. It is literally so bad that, remember, Donald Trump had to fire the woman who gave him the news. What are you talking about?
Well, she messed up the numbers.
Because the unemployment rate was so bad. What are you talking about? It's so bad that Jerome Powell was like, oh man, I really do gotta like decrease the percentage points. Like, yo, unemployment is horrific. I didn't know it was this bad. Because Trump's White House messed it up and you're gonna blame her. And I'm gonna say he hid the numbers. Like he's doing now, where he's not going to release the numbers. He's gonna give quarterly reports instead. Inflation is going up, prices are going up, unemployment is going up. Things are bad. People are not getting jobs. Somebody lied to you. Or Jerome Powell and Donald Trump are both agreeing on something even though they can't get along, and you're the only one that's right. It's one or the other. I believe that unemployment, from everybody I speak to, like when you look at the statistics where people are LinkedIn and they're just getting job. Oh man, it's so bad. People are just not getting jobs, bro. It's bad. It's scary. Prices going up. People can't afford to. Stagflation. Things are bad. Jerome Powell is now having to do what Donald Trump wanted because the economy is in such a bad state.
Now
Donald
Trump's wanted. Oh wow!
He has no. Well, he was waiting for.
Blame Donald Trump.
I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. I just said that he's doing what Donald Trump wanted, and now you're blaming him. Donald Trump wanted him to lower interest rates.
Okay.
Now, from what I understand, as not being an economist, there are two things that he uses to gauge what to do with interest rates: inflation and unemployment. If unemployment is low, wait, I gotta get it right. If unemployment is low and interest is low, you don't lower interest rates. You raise interest rates because you don't want the economy to run out of control. If unemployment goes up and inflation goes up, people can't afford to live. You lower interest rates and people can take out debt for cheaper. They pay less interest on it. It helps stabilize the economy. You don't lower interest rates in a good economy, according to Jerome Powell. So what Trump was asking him to do was bad economics. But Trump's not good at economics. He's good at his own personal money growth, which he doubled since he's been in office, so he's really good at it, while everybody else is suffering. But now the economy has shown that it's not doing so hot. Inflation's going up. Unemployment's going up. Jerome Powell now has to act because the tariffs are causing such turmoil, which everybody knew was going to happen, that he has no choice. According to Jerome Powell, but what do I know? I'm not an economist. I'm only the one that's been telling this was going to happen for the last 5 months. Now you want to defend Trump? I believe he's trying to defend Trump.
All right. Well, I see Jerome Powell hasn't cut interest rate yet, but he's signaling that he might. And just the fact that he's saying he might do it is actually causing things to go in the right direction.
It's causing stocks to go in the right direction. It's not causing.
Because now finally he sees the light. And the thing is, again, FAFO, Jerome Powell.
Yes, he found out that what he knew already, which was the tariffs are going to wreck the economy, and he's waiting to see the effects of the tariffs before he lowered the interest rates. This was not news to anybody, except for those who wasn't listening, as we said it over and 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 over again. Matter of fact, I got tired of saying it. I took a break and came back and started saying it over again. unemployment's going to happen because businesses are not going to be able to stay open because they're going to purchase things from overseas and their margins, how much they profit, are going to go down. And if you have a small margin, if you don't make much profit and prices go up too much, you're going to go out of business. You go out of business, so people have become unemployed. Meanwhile, prices have gone up. So both things are true simultaneously. Anybody who understands what a tariff is, and we got to go through that again. We want to be understanding why we're saying these things. We don't want to just say random things and people, look, I don't get it. Because, reasons. Let's be clear on what a tariff is.
Not again.
According to Google, tariffs are taxes imposed by one country on goods imported from another country. So as the good comes into the country, a tariff is put on it. Okay, so the word impose, right? This is one country. Taxes one country buys the other country. So as the good comes in, a tariff comes on. So it's one price here, the tariff comes on, and by the time it comes here, it's another price. So if something was $1 when it started, and the 20% tariff comes in here, so now it comes here and it's $1.20. The country that said it doesn't pay the tariff, it became $1.20 when it got here. So when it got here, now somebody on this side got to pay the $1.20. So it's either going to be the company that bought it, or they're going to pay it. They have to pay it. Whoever bought it has to pay it. Then they either eat the tariff and say, well, we're just going to, we can afford to pay that 20 cents on every single good that comes in, 20%. Or they're like, well, as it goes down to the consumer, the person that's buying, the consumer, the person that goes in the store to buy from us, we got to increase the prices because we can't afford to pay the tariff that came on the price when it came in. So when you buy from us now, you got to pay 20% more. So something's $10, it becomes $10.20. It's $100, it becomes $120. If $1,000, it becomes $1,200. That's, from somebody who's not an economist, but can read, is how tariffs work. So with that being stated, anybody who understood that basic concept that we learned in high school understood what was going to happen when Trump applied tariffs. So yes, Jerome Powell sat and he's like, not yet. No, we're going to wait and see. Oh, tariffs haven't hit yet. We haven't seen the effect. Oh, now we're starting to see the effect. Time to act. And that's what happened. He had no choice. He knew it was coming. Everybody knew it was coming. We didn't want to see it. But the definition of tariffs is prices going up.
Long story short, the world didn't end the way that he needed, the media needed, and all the Trump deranged people needed. And life goes on. Now, hopefully, he'll get with the program, does what he needs to do, and he'll help make America great again.
Yes, by making things more expensive for you, but doubling his own net worth. So, I mean, he went from being worth what, $2 billion to $4 billion, while it got more expensive for you to buy peanut butter. His net worth went from $2 billion to $4 billion.
Inflation is so bad, all I can eat is just a little jar of peanut butter. Just me. Look at my fridge, it's barren. I'm so Donald Trump. Oh no, he's so evil.
Well, if you're happy with having less money in your pocket so we can have more in his, God bless you. Some people are just like that. I am one of the people that are not. Because that's what it is.
God damn it.
Sorry?
I'm seeing what else is on the docket to scare these people.
Corporate culture and DEI. Cracker Barrel CEO questioned for being female amid DEI pushback. Woo! Yeah, they want to go against Cracker Barrel because the CEO was a female.
Oh God.
That's literally what happened. Is a lawsuit. They're literally suing Cracker Barrel because the CEO was a female. That's where we're at in this country. Oh, you don't understand. This is one of the things I got to pull up. Oh, I see. I get to do this again. Oh, I love it when you don't believe me. Because that means I got to prove it to the public if you don't believe me. See that? Oh, let me share this because this is fun. I don't like to share when I type, but where was I? Cracker Barrel lawsuit, right? I didn't have to type it all out. Oh, Cracker Barrel lawsuit DEI. There we go. Fox Business. Start with Fox Business. It's the number one thing. Pro-Trump law group says Cracker Barrel DEI programs violate federal state civil rights law. Conservative pro-Trump law group America's First Legal filed complaints Monday with the Tennessee Attorney General and the Equal Opportunity Employment Commission, alleging Cracker Barrel is maintaining discriminatory employment practices stemming from its diversity, equity, inclusion practices. The complaints point to public documents, internal records, and Cracker Barrel's own language that allege the company maintains illegal DEI frameworks such as race and gender conscious hiring, leadership and promotional pipelines, which provides benefits to employers on the basis of protected characteristics. AFL also slammed Cracker Barrel for rebranding its dedicated DEI website to Culture and Belonging, arguing that the name change did not halt Cracker Barrel from using diversity as a proxy for race or sex. Americans are fed up with the major. Oh, this is America. This is Fox's spin. Fed up with the American corporations serving up DEI as if it is entirely okay. Yes, white men are not being treated fairly, basically. Treating people differently because of color of their skin or the sex is not only wrong, it is illegal. That's right, white men are being treated badly. AFL has fought DEI since the Biden administration spent 4 years celebrating and recovering this wholesome implementation across the country. Now companies are retreating from the term DEI by retaining discriminatory practices. Cracker Barrel and all other corporations must take discrimination by any name off the menu once and for all. It doesn't say anything about the girl. They put it up there, but they don't say anything about her.
Well, guess what? She ruined Cracker Barrel by
That's
changing the
Fox.
logo, and a lot of people are upset with that. Why can't we talk about those apples?
Wow. They went after the woman, but they're not saying it. Well, let me see Newsweek. Anybody but Fox. Some of the crackles initiatives develop employer focus specifically on Black, LGBTQ plus, Latino, AFL. This means they appear to offer employment benefits that are only available based on employment, race, or sex. The case comes amid a wider culture debate over inclusion and diversity practices. Trump has been highly critical of DEI since his return to office earlier this year. Federal agencies have rolled back the initiative across military government platforms, attempting to scrap them in schools and universities. Claims that DEI is generally discriminatory have been subject to pushback in the spheres of education, politics, and business. People are not believing that DEI nonsense that Trump is pushing. Most business leaders think dropping DEI is a bad idea, according to a national survey. Findings were reported by Forbes earlier this month. Some 77% of executives believe the DEI initiatives are positively correlated with improved financial performance, while 81% said the DEI policies have bolstered customer loyalty. Wow, so its practices are hurting businesses, according to, I don't know, business owners. Weird. Who would ever have thought? America First Legal describes itself on its website as a nonprofit law firm founded to unapologetically and boldly defend the rights of everyday Americans. Let's substitute that with white men. The organization, which has been described, because everybody in there, this is because only white men got these jobs. So this is saying that not only white men can do the job, other people other than white men can do the job. And they're saying, well, you're discriminating against white men, but they're trying to use plainer language that doesn't point out the truth or point out the whole truth and say everyday Americans, but it's white men. And I have nothing against white men. But let's be clear, that's what that means. Trump, and this is written probably by a white guy because, most white men I know understand that there's been unfair practices to minority groups. Trump by the press, whose name page Trump by the press and whose name pays homage to the American First Movement stated, "We're at the forefront of the battle for our nation, white men." In a press release issued by AFL law firm on Monday, AFL senior counsel Nicholas Barry called Cracker Barrel almost as American as apple pie, but it said it may also be discriminating against its employees, which they say must go unchallenged under civil rights laws. It is not even bringing her up either. All right. I'm not going to continue looking for it. I'm just going to type her name in because that is the easiest way to see what Trump has done with her. What is her name?
Let's just say Cracker Barrel has gone woke and it might go broke, even though the food is still delicious, kind of, sort of. But we don't have those in New York, so.
Well, I understand your point. I grasp your concept. But here's the thing about Cracker Barrel. Here's the thing about DEI. Before the 1960s, certain jobs will only be able to be held by white men. For instance, if you wanted to be a black person in work, you did manufacturing, you were a maid, even on TV, how we were displayed, we were maids, we cleaned people's shoes. DEI and affirmative action combined to change these things. By striking them down, you're enabling a society where only majority white men will be able to attain certain types of jobs. This will exclude the alphabet community,
Oh God.
Asians,
Whoop.
Latinos were being hunted down by masked men and jumping out of unmarked cars pointing guns at little kids.
Wow.
Of course, blacks, Native Americans, and beyond.
You can't have discrimination on blacks.
Wow, I just named 5 other people. As soon as I said blacks, you got upset. I wonder what it is that you and blacks.
You're used as pawns, man. Don't you see all these initiatives and actions and acts named after stuff for us? We never get the lion's share. So that's why it's pointless, in my opinion. But then again, I could be wrong.
Whenever I say blacks, no matter how many other groups I name, you get defensive.
Yeah, because just like you, your Voting Rights Act, you somehow think because somebody against Voting Rights Act is for black people. That black people and Voting Rights Act unfortunately seems synonymous, but it's not. Black people affirmative action, black people DEI. No, they're making you think that it's supposed to be for good for the black people when it's not.
So the thing that we fought for, the thing that people went to prison for, the thing that we worked so hard for, we should just let go because Donald Trump says so.
No, we let go because it doesn't work for us before, during, and after Donald Trump. How about that? And you know what? Just
Do you wear glasses?
Huh?
Do you wear glasses?
Of course, but not today's episode.
I get it. You don't say.
All right, fine. On to the next one. RFK.
Oh, yeah, we got to get to there, right?
We're almost closing at 2 hours.
So, Carney and his tariffs, you went there. Social policy extremes.
Let's see.
Alex Jones looked at how bad Trump looked and said, yo, he don't give him a year. That was Alex Jones. Even Alex Jones is like, yo, that man don't look good. Alex Jones like, yo, I don't think he's going to make it a year. We argued about this earlier. You don't see it. Even Alex Jones sees it.
Now he's an authority for you.
No, he's not.
Okay, well, good. Move on.
But the fact that somebody who's such a strong supporter is looking is like, that should say something to everyone. When somebody that is that much of a supporter is looking and seeing the same thing as everybody else, he's not saying it along a biased line. He's saying it, he's on the side of it and don't want to see it, but he can't help but see it. That is an objective viewpoint.
If only
it's subjective. He's on the side. He's on the other side.
If there only were Democrats that would say the same on the Biden administration. Oh, well.
Say that again?
If only were Democrats who spoke up against in the Biden administration said, yes, there's something bad here, but they were demonized out the building. Like they did George Clooney after the fact. Look at George Clooney. Oh my God, they demonized him.
That's true.
What did Hunter Biden say? Oh my God, they betrayed my daddy.
That's true. You done? What do you want me to say? You telling the truth. Like, what do you want me to do? Oh no, no, you're telling the truth. I'm not gonna argue with you. You're right. Oh, you wasn't ready for that. You used to arguing with Democrats. Yeah, I'm not a Democrat, bro. Is the U.S. economy resilient or on the brink?
Now we have 1.8 thousand viewers.
That's nice.
1,800 viewers, family. Thanks a lot, guys.
We definitely appreciate you. Thank you, everybody who's that's been here supporting us, watching us. Definitely appreciate each and every one of you. But okay, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. The chat kind of went quiet after a while. I don't know if there's a problem with it, but it's like sometimes it'll come on and be a lot of stuff we didn't see. But by the way, we're up to 1935, not 18 anything. Where was we? Alex Jones. They're saying they're going to build 1,000 more detainment camps. Hello? Determined camps. I said detainment. Determined camps.
Internment camps.
Are you happy about that? Do you want to see 1,000 more of these things?
What internment camps? What are you talking about? They're going to try to shut down Alligator Alley, whatever it's Alcatraz. So the judge is trying to shut down Alligator Alcatraz. So you should be happy about that.
Last week he ruled that no more funds can go in it, but it was a TRO. It was a temporary restraining order. It wasn't a final decision.
Well, there you go.
It wasn't an injunction.
We're working towards that, I'm sure.
Nah, he's going to battle. Okay, so here's how it works. Again, entertainment education purposes only.
Yes, disclaimer, asterisk.
So here's how it's going to work. They go to a federal judge. They get a TRO, a temporary restraining order, until it can be heard in full. Until it can be heard in full. When it's heard in full, then you get an injunction. The judge makes a decision and writes out a decision on it. Then it gets appealed. It goes to the appeals court, which is a level above that. So now they're in the appeals court. They can fight about it. And the appeals court is probably going to uphold the injunction. They're probably not going to win that. Then they kick it up to the highest level to go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court justices are probably going to say it's okay, and Alligator Alcatraz is probably going to continue. And I might have missed a step in there because I'm not an officer of the court, but that's basically how it's going to work. In my opinion, I don't think they're going to stop Alligator Alcatraz. It's already too late, in my opinion. Anyway, they're trying to build 1,000 more. In the U.S., is the U.S. economy resilient or on the brink? Do you think the U.S. economy is gonna make it, or do you think that the U.S. might fold?
Oh no, it's fine. I'm just trying to see where I thought we were supposed to be on Kennedy right now, number 5. No.
Oh, I skipped something. No,
Well, this is the one
get
that you gave me. After the 1,000 detainment camps, Musk sweepstakes fraud, culture divide, Supreme Court reshaping science, number 5, NIH grants blocked.
Oh, I got something. I don't know. I must have an error on this, or maybe I skipped it. I don't know how I don't have it. But I know I definitely want to talk about it. I got it at the end, but we can talk about it now. Vaccine pullback strokes fear lost medical, and I got article links.
Oh, that's
okay.
We're hitting our 2-hour mark.
Oh, damn. Okay, let's hurry up. Sorry, guys. Kept y'all on here a long time. Thank y'all for coming. We're gonna oh wow, we broke 2,000 also. That's why I like to go long, because we keep going up. 2130. So yeah, long live, short recorded sessions, long lives. We get more people. So
if you just stumbled in, we'll talk about how much we hate Donald Trump. So stay tuned.
Yeah, you get more people, get more chance to come in. They're coming in from work, they're coming in from partying, whatever. Now they sitting back on their phone. It's 11 o'clock at night. They scrolling through their phones. So anyway, the courts blocked $783 million in NIH, National Institute of Health research grants. RFK Jr. is at the center of this. $783 million in research. Now, maybe you don't believe in the stab in the arm, but research for cancer, why would anybody want to stop research? Go ahead, Kennedy fan.
Well, once again, these grants by the Democrats are often used as a money grab to do all kinds of exploratory imagination freaking experimentations and research to nowhere and pocket the money for all their machinations. Kennedy, on the other hand, is saying, hey, listen, I want to revolve everything. I want to go back to health. I want to take away the word mandatory from vaccines. I'm putting my doctors and scientists in place to screen everything. So we're going to have to put a pause on all these damn grants to evaluate everything until I give the okay. It's been indulged. I support Kennedy on this matter. That's about it.
So you support cutting cancer research. It's that simple.
No, that's not that simple. Meaning all
is.
the money that was wasted on cancer research to be pocketed by the Democrats and their freaking friends and all the nonprofits and Big Pharma. Don't you hate them? Yeah, we're supposed to hate them. We were told 10 years ago to hate Big Pharma, have been halted thanks to Kennedy.
So you could have put somebody in place to audit them properly, not cut the funding for cancer research, which is what he did.
Again, once again, shouldn't the cure for cancer be found by now with all the trillions of dollars poured into it? Let's put a stop on that right now and let's look into it and reevaluate everything.
Because we haven't found a cure yet, let's stop all of the stuff that's going on because, that's I can see your point. So why not put people in place to make sure the research is being done correctly and the money's not being stolen rather than cancel the money?
Because he's doing that. Remember, he's just 8 months in, if that's putting the brakes, Dodge. Another thing, he just got rid of his chief of staff and some other leaders in his department that were not very good for him. So again, let's wait, see, and watch. But in the meantime, he removed the word mandatory from the vaccines. He was removing the dyes for certain items. He's removing food stamps for purchasing certain junk food items. People love him for those small changes, but they don't know he's a crackpot. He's a conspiracy theorist. The next day, the media, the people don't believe that. And some say maybe it's going to be Kennedy 2028, huh?
We
I
both
used to
know
work for his
that's not
PAC.
going to
Disclaimer: I
happen.
used to work for his PAC, so I have a bias.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. If he works for his PAC, they're not going to let him run. They're not going to let him run because they know he's a quack. Is that not?
He's not a quack, my friends. It's just that if you remember, under the previous 4 years, you were mandated to and keep. But if you do it one last time, you're gonna be cured and they won't spread anymore. Boy, were they wrong. But now they're exposing. Guess what? Tulsi Gabbard is also blowing the lid on Dr. Fauci and all the other stuff that they were sitting on. So he may not be able to go to jail because he's pre-parked to 2014 for some reason, but they sure can expose him all the damage he's done with Wuhan, China.
Yes, Dr. Fauci appears to have been in bed with China in developing a COVID virus that had the capability to do what is called gain of function, which, again, this is for education and entertainment purposes only. But gain of function is when something can jump from a disease can jump from an animal to a human being. And they said that the COVID-19 virus came from a bat. So it jumped from a bat to a human, which is called gain of function. And Dr. Fauci testified in front of Congress on live TV that he was experimenting with a COVID-19 virus that was able to go from bat to human, but it did not have gain of function, which was the definition of the word. So, yes, he has a few things he has to answer. Republicans scratched their head like, wait a minute. What's the definition of gain of function? If it can go from an animal to a human. Could your virus go from an animal to a human? Yes, but it's not gain of function. Was a problem for some Republicans. And as an independent, I can say, without having to be a Democrat and be like, nah, he was right. As an independent, I can say, you're lying. You're lying, Fauci. So he has things to answer for. But to say that the COVID virus wasn't serious, that people weren't dying. I'm from New York, as Dion is. I wasn't living in New York when COVID-19 happened, but I remember on my Facebook timeline, I would see 6, 7 people dying a day that I personally knew. People I knew. The virus was dangerous. People were dying 5, 6. For me to lose 5, 6 people a day for months is insane.
What about the people that we know that got sick from taking the jabby? What about the people we all know that died from taking the jabby? What about the people we know today that still are unemployed and lost everything for not taking the ouchie? Why can't we talk about that subset? Actually, let's talk about maybe more people were harmed than helped from taking that ouchie. Why can't we explore and research that with the grant money? Oh, because Big Pharma would be in trouble. Dr. Fauci would be in trouble, and everybody linked to this whole situation would be in trouble. The media would be in trouble because it lied to us. And they censored us on social media, put us in Facebook jail, shadow banned us. Donald Trump Republicans, they didn't do that. That's strange. And they're the authoritarian, evil dictatorship.
Whoa. Donald Trump didn't do what?
Shadow ban us. They didn't
No, he didn't shadow ban us, but he's dead. But he's getting people fired from mainstream media. He's getting people fired from mainstream.
They called Mark Zuckerberg and say, hey, you better take care of all this fake news and put some fact checkers on your platform of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg. Fast forward, Mark Zuckerberg, yes, they did pressure me and strong arm me to censor my social media. Then Elon Musk said, hey, you're not going to tell me what to do when I buy Twitter and make it X. You can go F yourself. You can say whatever you want on our platform. Oh, no, that Elon Musk is evil. And that's when they turn against Elon Musk.
Is it? It's probably not true. But everything else you said is. I don't know about when they turned on him. I don't think that's true. But everything else you said is. Except for the part about Trump where he is literally getting people fired from their news jobs because he doesn't like the way they report on them. So there's that.
When did he do that? Because maybe because the platform ABC or CBS.
Oh! So I don't have to show you?
They lied about him. They called him a rapist when he wasn't a rapist. He didn't grape anybody, right, George Snuffleupagus? But you insist that he did grape somebody. That way you was wrong. And you know what?
So he didn't. So he didn't.
People don't watch those shows. That's why these people are getting fired, like Joy Reid.
So he did not go to jail for doing it, but he lost lawsuits for doing it. The man has literally been on TV admitting to grabbing women and SAing them, sex assault. He's literally admitted to doing these things.
He's not guilty of raping anybody. Now, SA is a different case, but seems though George Stephanopoulos pointed out a fact on the news as a fact and saying he raped somebody, that is blatant slander and libel, and that's why Trump wanted.
You sure he wasn't reading out of Donald Trump's wife's book where she said she was raped? She did. She said it in her book.
They tried. That doesn't mean in court of law. In the court of law, Donald Trump is not a convicted felon of rape. That's a fact.
That's true.
Now, if you're a reporter, supposed to be objective and tell the public the truth and facts, you say, yes, he is. And somebody tells you, no, you're wrong. And Donald Trump say, hey, they're lying on me. And this information could affect public opinion for my election as a candidate for president of the United States. Remain the judge, Democrat, otherwise, yeah, he's right. You guys did lie on Donald Trump. And you did hurt, cause this kind of harm to him. Booyah. Well, it's 2 hours, 11 o'clock, Leo. Now what we're going to do. How many people are still watching?
A couple of thousand, probably. Oh, no, we lost everybody.
We lost everybody. It's 62. Oh, my God. Wait a minute. 62 are watching. Oops.
I guess it's time for us to go.
I guess it is. Wow.
That would be it. All right. Well, thank everybody for coming. Word. We started talking about that last 2 subjects, and that did it. Got to talk about the stuff that's hottest in the news. All right. Well, have a good night. Talk to you soon. This is Leo signing out.